Alright, we'll get the meeting called to order. First thing, welcome to Baldwin sign. You say, Robin, that, Cardinal
Yep,
will do it for nothing?
they're gonna do it for nothing. Two signs.
What are the physical dimensions on it?
I'll have to measure. At first, they thought that they wouldn't be able to make them to the full dimensions, because they're working on another larger project. So they have the extra heavy-duty aluminum left over. But, in follow-up conversations, they thought that they could pretty much replicate what we have.
Cool.
So, it would be 2 free signs, and, so tomorrow morning I'll go and take some measurements.
Okay.
Yep.
They're gonna do just one side, this time they're gonna do.
I think so.
Well, I'm just thinking it's
I know.
less expensive for them to do.
Yeah.
But it should have said, come again,
Yeah,
come again, or
yeah,
something like that,
yeah.
so it was a little bit of a
Well,
boo-boo,
I
but,
was just thinking of their cost, I think it was really good to do that.
yeah.
Well, I was looking on the invoice for the last ones we had done, it says one side.
I'm sure it does,
But
I'm
they
sure
just
it
do.
does.
They get carried away.
I guess so. Just practice, yeah.
I don't know, maybe they just didn't realize the other side was already done. So, you know, 2 people may have done it, who knows?
Alright, that's good,
That's awesome.
yeah. CEO appointment. We hired Michael Lee from Denmark to be our code enforcer.
You coming by tomorrow, Robinson?
Yep,
Yeah, I should be sworn in.
Perfect.
yep, and, so he wants to dig in and, check any messages, emails, he wants to reach out to Joe at some point,
When's he gonna be here?
first thing in the morning.
Well, that's like 5 or 6
I'm
to
sorry.
me.
As far as town office hours go,
Oh,
8 a.m. But, yeah, he wants to, get reviewing everything and, get background on stuff, and
I'll try to stop in that first
Yeah.
hour.
if not, he said he'd call you. Yeah,
Okay.
that was his plan.
Great. I thank you guys for telling me that would be a great idea. I'm sure you did.
Yeah.
All about you. What we told us.
I told him, keeping communication with the planning board.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Really wonderful. Thank you.
I see we did get a bite on, the ad, somebody hired him, applied, and I applied, but send him a,
Oh, yeah, yeah.
but
Was it someone we talked to before?
no, it was a random, can't remember his name, he had quite a background, self-proclaimed background type of thing.
Now, this thing with Black Bear, that's been sent down to State Water, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think David was the one that told him that he was late with his, filing.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
What are you doing helping Art?
Right. Put somewhere where I'm gonna lose it. Building codes. I see your email. This on sprinklers? Just on sprinklers?
Well, we talked about building codes and whether we need them or not, so I went looking for something that gave an explanation of overviews, but you can't find it. What you find is, companies will sell you copies of them.
Oh, that's nice.
I think the total, what was it, like 2 something? or something, probably for the zoning codes.
Do you want me to turn them all off?
No. I sent an email,
Oh,
right?
it was for something.
Yeah, for something, 425.
I'm sorry, I didn't know if you wanted to turn off the different.
But, on the, state website, it seemed like the one issue that, was prominently discussed was the sprinkler requirement. And, it's something that local communities can decide not to
Yeah.
include.
Yeah.
My suggestion is that we do buy a copy of the of the three codes, and have them in front of us, and have, have something to look at, so we know what we're talking about anyway.
Yeah.
They're all researchable, would be nice to have a physical
Yeah.
Yeah.
code.
I mean, I have a hard time sometimes reading what's on the website, so.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I think it'd be a good idea.
Well, I move that we buy a copy.
No,
Favor.
no, oh, no.
Nope, it's my pleasure, seriously. You have a good evening.
See ya. All right, front door chair, time to, what's the new, front door chair, I nominate Bob.
I decline. Well, let you two decide.
I thought it was a seniority thing.
It is, traditionally it is,
Okay.
yeah.
Actually,
but
it's not.
It's not really, but,
It used to be, but, there's now a, policy on the books that it's elected.
Every year?
Well, no, every
yeah,
3 years. Is it every year?
every year.
Yeah.
Well, it used to be that the person's last year of the term was chair, but we still elected him, yeah.
I think you're doing a hell of a job, I nominate you.
A second.
All in favor? Opposed? Congratulations, Jim. Well, okay. Damn, don't think of that.
Share the wealth, huh?
Yeah, right. Sebago Fiber request for growth building information. They're the ones putting in the, internet.
Mm.
They're probably curious of what, our building growth has been for the last 2 years, I think, they want.
Yeah, I don't know, it would take some effort to get that, but I thought we could, publish their map at least on the town website.
What they plan, what they.
Yeah,
proposing,
did you click on their link and?
I've seen what they plan on doing,
Yeah.
but not on the website, yeah.
Yeah, they've got a graphic that you can zoom in on, and the more you zoom in, the more detail you can see.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Can I make a suggestion that you, if you do sign something with them, that they at least do the North Baldwin end? We went through this with Time Warner Cable. The only people that were there for the meeting were from the north end, yet everybody else but the north end got,
Well, the proposal is
Cable?
that they're going up 107. They're going right by your house.
okay, but I'm talking,
It already is going by, but it's not Sebago Fiber.
There will be Sebago Fiber.
And there's a line running from Baldwin Plains.
Right.
Right up
Yeah.
to that phone booth down below the fire station.
Yeah.
And we call them, and they say, oh no, the line isn't there. Well, I'm looking at it, it's right there.
Yeah, Sebago Fiber.
yeah,
Yeah, no, it-
well, I know, but when it was Time Warner Cable at the time, and everybody that was there was from the north end, yet we're the only ones that did not get the cable.
In this situation, it's actually reversed. They're only dealing with North Baldwin. So,
Really?
because it's Sebago and it's
But
overlapping
I wish
into North
you
Baldwin.
guys would do the same thing with Spectrum and, say, hey,
Cause we no cost to the town, they're doing it on their own.
Yeah, well, I know when I called to get Spectrum, it was gonna cost me $29,000 to have it.
Right, and we looked
Which it
into,
shouldn't have, because it should have been included with the whole town.
we looked in, was it Red Zone? What was it?
Talk about a number of them.
Yeah, but this one is, they're going up 107 and going into Sebago. That's why it's called Sebago Fiber.
Are they also going to try, not working, but are they going to ready to go down Convy Road to Utah Highway?
If we put on the web, you can see exactly
Yeah,
what
I'd
it
like
is.
to, yeah.
Yep.
But I thought that
On both sides of
was
the
something
line.
This is the company we talked about before.
Yeah,
We signed a letter of agreement with them.
Yeah.
And, they're gonna do a good portion of the North Ballroom,
yeah.
Convene Road area up there.
No, that's what I'm asking.
Yeah, but, you know, for specifics, you could, be best you could zoom in on it. It goes up Wentworth Road, I think, right up to the March place,
Yeah, I looked at them.
so it's,
They
pretty good.
haven't laid it yet, they haven't laid the fibers yet.
I think they're doing it in Sebago. Isn't that the crew that's over there now?
Yeah.
On 113?
I believe it
I
is.
know they're a pain in the butt trying to get around them.
Oh, of course, yeah. Yeah, you been to Cornish lately?
Oh.
Everybody wants something fixed, but they hate the
Some
construction
over, and then
process,
we
you
can
know?
get you at the end of the, the agenda if you want,
But, you know, get back to
so
your
that
original
otherwise I
question
can
was,
explain to them that it, comes
they
out like,
wanted information on,
kind of the
future
size of the
subdivisions,
stop it on the opposite side of the
and
road.
building permits for the next 2 years.
So near where Dodge Oil
See how much
is.
more money they can make.
Well, I
I
guess,
was planning on,
yeah, which is, I don't know, we see what records are there.
Yeah, I don't,
Yeah.
okay.
Reminder
I don't know how
is,
long
let's see,
we're flying through the agenda.
planning
I
board,
don't know if
7 o'clock, but it's on the 6th.
yeah, I don't know if that will.
7, right?
Okay, all right, thanks. Yeah, bye-bye.
Well, yeah. Anything? No, Joe? Captain?
Planning the summer reading program, trying to get all the folders ready for them, and it's gonna start up on Friday, I think it's the 11th, and actually open up on the 17th, cause that'll be a Monday. No, I don't know, on whatever that following Monday is. The kids all come in for story hour, everybody's gonna wanna sign up. If all the other kids are coming in on the same day, it's just gonna be a zoo, so we'll stagger it. A little on Friday, a little on Monday,
Yeah.
should be good. But they're getting all excited about reading programs.
Oh, good, yeah.
So we'll see,
Yeah.
try to keep them busy,
Right.
Give them little things to think about, little puzzles to work on, and prizes to win.
Yeah.
And we even have adults. We have adults, we give them reading lists, and they have to pick out elements out of that list, and they get little prizes for doing it.
Anything else? Mary?
The only thing I was gonna bring up is that, I was out working in the garden this morning, and I could hear sirens going down the Sebago Road, Convene Road, as we call it. And all of a sudden, it stopped. And I thought, well, I don't know where they went, but then I was out watering the garden, it's out way at the end, not the end of my driveway, but out at the end, a little ways out. And I had stretched the hose way out and everything, and up drives this plain car police officer.
Yeah.
And he says, am I on the correct road here? He says, am I on the right road? What's the name of the road? Lombard. Am I on Lombard Road? And I said, well, yeah, but I said, I don't want you. And he says, well, was there another officer that came? And I said, no. And he said, well, I got a call, I gotta go to Lombard Road. He says, it says I'm on the Lombard Road. Can I go off this way? And I said, well, you won't be getting through, and so I tried to tell him twice, you gotta go down the end of my driveway, take a right and take the next right. It's the Lombard, I live on the Lombard Road. I hate to
Was he Oxford, Cumberland, or
I
State?
don't know, it was a plain car, and then afterwards came to, well, you should probably ask him for his credentials, I mean, he's dressed in plain clothes,
Yeah.
so. But I just brought it up only because it seems like that we've brought this up several times here, that, you know, whoever those people, I don't know what kind of trouble they were in or whatever, but they say they're on the Lombard Road, but technically they aren't. So, you know, if this had been a true, I don't know if it was, maybe it was an emergency, but it was an emergency. Well, he didn't know where to go,
Right, yeah.
you know, and I think it's a concern that we ought to have, you know. Sorry.
No, you're right, no.
And the last I knew, there's two Sebago roads right now. One over where she is and one going over to East Sebago.
Yeah, well, they call East Sebago, it's East Sebago, not, this is Sebago.
It's called Sebago Road.
And
Up
I-
over.
Yeah,
That's
you know,
And then yours is, I don't know, must start at the line and go
well,
to Hiram?
see, that's another question, because I don't know where it starts. At first I thought it started on the Hiram line, but then I think it may start on the Baldwin line. I really don't know, because, like, the car will tell me where I am, you know, and sometimes it will say Cromie Road, sometimes it will say East Hiram
Yeah.
Road.
I think it starts, the one I'm seeing is saying is what you said, right there at this Hiram Sebago line, it jumps into
Well, it makes
Sebago.
sense, 'cause that's, you know, that's the,
I just don't know down the other,
County
way, it
line.
stops there, you know, going.
Yeah,
down.
Maybe
I
we
don't
should
know.
ask an expert.
The next one.
I'm looking up the Lombard Road situation.
I know if you follow GPS, Sebago Road starts down here at Blinken Lake, goes Sebago, which it is, it doesn't. That's Bridgeton Road,
Yeah,
goes all the
right.
way up through. And my road, Wigan Road, goes all the way up to Wentworth, all the way up to Wentworth, so you can't follow GPS at all.
yeah. Well, he just didn't know where he was, and he didn't want to believe me. Really, he
Maybe
didn't.
he's trying to hide somebody, that's why.
I don't know what he was doing, but he did not want to believe me.
Unfortunately, there was a death.
Oh,
Yeah, that came over the scanner, that's how I know.
Natural causes.
That's what it seemed to be.
Everyone knew that was what it was.
So, the 911 database has Lombard Road going to where this call was today, and they have Chestnut Hill and Cobbling, where you are.
Well, you know, we've been over this before.
Yeah.
You know, you do whatever you want to, but it's not what you're talking about, where they're going. Technically, it's not, and it never was, the Lombard Road. But if that's what they want to call themselves, I mean, you could have it be Lombard Road Annex, something like that.
That would be just as confusing from a 911 perspective.
Yeah.
You can't have look-alike, sound-alike, just like with medication.
Yeah,
right.
You can't, but I suppose and it circles around, there's a driveway that comes in, we've had this conversation before, off from Pantherville Pines, so it looks like Lombard Road from certain angles, it looks like it's actually a circular road,
well,
that goes back out of the Pantherville Pines, but I'm gonna do a little screenshot of this and I'll print it off so that you can see it,
you know, it's just, I don't know, I don't give a hoot, I really don't, except that, you know, I've lived there for 45 years, and I know where the Lombard Road went, and this has been added, this to the left business has been added
yeah.
in recent years, so it's fine, if that's what you wanna do, change the road to Lombard that way, but.
No, this was long before I came into the picture.
Oh, I'm sure, I know all that, I know.
But it's kind of confusing there, I'm surprised, you know, they responded quickly and arrived quickly, this was an undercover person because it was the situation that it was.
Yeah.
But, they've had problems on Pantherville Pines because the homeowners chose, they weren't happy with the number that they had been assigned, so
Yeah, I
they
remember
refused
that,
to
you
use
saying
it,
that, yeah,
basically.
yeah.
and switched their numbers around, which was not good for,
Anybody.
Anybody to find them.
but what I find is, so it's peculiar to me that if he was an undercover officer, I would think that he would be using the 911 database, but I don't know if this is the same, cause it's called, Geocom contributor, so it's with the state. But I know that Google is not accurate lots of times, you know, they send people in all kinds of wonky directions, and their little Google car driving around like so often, you know, to get addresses. But, I don't know what the fix is for this, but they've got you as like Cobb Lane and Chestnut Hill from the,
My driveway is Cobb Lane, but then
Yeah.
Chestnut Hill,
yep,
like, goes off of it. But technically, in reality, Chestnut Hill Road, when it gets to the top of the little hill, it's Lombard Road again.
Oh,
But
wow.
they, you know, they don't want that. They wanna have it be Chestnut Hill Road, which is fine, I don't care. But Lombard Road comes out onto the Ward Hill Road, but it's been discontinued, so it's not a public road or anything.
yeah.
But, you know, I don't know, it just kind of, it didn't upset me. I won't say that it upset me, but I was a little worried about it, because it's like, you know, the poor guy, I felt sorry for him, because he just didn't believe me. He didn't believe me. He wanted to go to the right, and it's just a woods road. I mean, I own it. You can't get up through. We don't want anybody going up through.
I wonder if he was relying on his GPS
He
or
was.
something,
He
yeah.
was. He said the GPS tells him to go
Yeah.
on the Lombard Road. I said, you are.
Yeah,
You are on the Lombard Road. But,
the old Lombard Road.
yeah.
The problem is that these mapping agencies that sell their apps to the phone companies don't coordinate with the 911 stuff. So,
I got a further question on that whole deal. When you do change a name, something like that, what happens with tax records and people's deeds and all that?
That's a good question, because
Because
that
that's
road,
happened over on the north end already.
that road was, first, it was Cobb Lane. Then they put this road in, it's like she said, a spur, that goes up to Michael R. Day's house. And they named it Mailman Drive, because the guy that bought the place and built the house up there, his name was Don Mailman. Well, when Mike and Laurie bought the place, they didn't want that, and I don't say I blame them, so they changed it to Chestnut Hill Road, because there's chestnut trees up there. You know, but in all reality, like I said, the only thing that's really Chestnut Hill Road is just a little, you know, section that goes up the hill and then it hits the Lombard Road. So it is confusing. I mean, you know, to have it changed names 3 times in not very many years, yeah, it's very confusing.
Sounds like the Carbonell Road, they changed one of the roads to Spur Road. You look on your GPS, both of them still say Carbonell Road.
But we made a point of changing one side to Spur Road for 911 purposes, because there's a house that's gonna be built on Spur
Yeah,
Road.
I see that.
So by the time you call, you know, 911 for Carbonell and they go down the wrong spur, a couple of minutes might make a difference.
So it's up to the owners to change their deeds over, right? That's my assumption. And like you said, I don't care, I'm just curious. 'Cause
Yeah,
every
I
time you
know.
do something like that, it opens
Yeah.
up another can of worms.
Yeah.
I don't think you need to change the deed.
Well, if it, you know, states Calvin Road, now it's on the other side, right?
I don't think you need to change the deeds. I mean, the road I'm on used to be called Deacon's Fountain Road, that's now Chase Road. Nobody
Mud
around
Street.
changed all the deeds.
Until you get some smart lawyer, then he owns you out.
Well, anyway, I don't mean to cause a stir or anything, but it just, you know, I just thought I'd bring it up, because we have talked about it several times during these meetings. And today, it happened. It was definitely a problem, you know, and I don't know if, you know, maybe those few minutes would have made a difference, I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm done.
That was a good one.
Yeah,
ISO number for Bal, parts of Alton?
I don't know.
It's the insurance, the number that the insurance company gets, because it's like
Oh, and they,
your fire services and all that stuff.
yeah. I don't know.
It goes 10 down. And the highest number would be 1, or in that range, and hardly anyone in the United
Oh,
States.
as far as the rating,
And then in between, they have either numbers or letters.
No.
I called my insurance company because I've been trying to get it, and they finally did get it, and I'm being told it's a 9.
Yeah, so this was the
From
old one
7
here.
something. That was a big difference.
You were the one, the last one that worked on the
But
issue.
it's coming up to Chestnut Hill and then picks up Ward
Worked
way
on
down there.
the ISO.
Yeah,
I hope these guys have.
It should have been
I think so.
That was scheduled to be done in October.
It's coming October or?
No, it's passed.
Yeah,
So
did you
that's
finish it
you.
up?
No, he wasn't here.
And they
I
have
finished
a
up.
lane up here.
They should all, all I had to do was hydrants, dig out some back paperwork.
So I don't know, yeah.
So you didn't finish it?
I wasn't there, but I'm gonna say that they should have been able to. It was scheduled to be done in October.
It's what?
And I'm pretty sure that they talked to her. Because she called right after, I left and forwarded the information on.
I thought you had finished the after that. You didn't report that you hadn't finished when you left.
No, but there was no reason why they couldn't, because it was high risk, there was no reason.
Or that one, okay, yeah.
These are ongoing things, I mean, just because somebody leaves, dies, or whatever, they stay going.
You know, like a lot.
Steve worked on, he reported to the select, we talked about,
It was all.
I remember Steve talking about the ISO numbers and trying to move them in the proper direction.
You got better memory than I do.
So this,
We'll have to check with them, see what,
so.
I was gonna say, I was hoping that they kept going with it.
Okay, and I
don't
just,
take our word for it.
I just wanna make a comment about the town meeting. The paperwork that Steve gave, anybody that has these glasses, you really had to squint to see the paperwork, the numbers, because it was so small. With all the older people that are in there, that font should have been bigger. And the other thing is the colors. Some people cannot, older people cannot see like yellows and stuff like that. He should have taken and tailored it so that everybody could have read it. And it should have been out 7 days beforehand.
you've never seen his, CIP report, CIP schedule.
Wow.
So small.
The town report was out
Well, I think
4 days
it's-
before the meeting.
Water under the bridge.
The town report was out earlier than 4
The
days.
town report was out, but
So-
not his information. His information was not given until the day of the town meeting.
What are you talking about?
So it's one of the
paper-
handouts we
His
have.
handout,
Oh.
Yeah.
but his budgetary stuff was in the warrant, right?
Right.
But how he got those numbers should have been out beforehand. His letter to the town should have been in the town report.
Thank you.
Yep.
Should have been.
Yeah, he's next, and then,
Come on.
okay.
Chad?
When our beach signs going in?
When are you gonna put them out?
Am I gonna put them up?
You're the attendant. You're gonna do more work down there, Chad, this year. You done any raking yet?
I've already been,
Put the rake away?
yeah. I've already been booting up people already.
Oh, yeah?
Yep. And I just got done speaking to a guy today, he had a kayak come in on the beach with it, and I skipped him on the other side.
You just kinda remind him that's not the boat launch, and Yeah, it's right down there in the old office and some, and.
I see it when I come in, I'm leaning right against the
Yeah.
door as you walk in. I hope you like it for your truck.
They may be driving for me.
Anything else?
Nope.
You folks?
We have two things. One, it's recent, I just got my boundary survey for my land across the street that we
Yeah.
purchased. Somebody apparently made a road on our property.
Really?
On the 113 end of it. I do have the sketch here. How do we go about finding out who did it?
Do you mean physically or in a survey?
No,
Physically, trees are gone.
right, that's our boundary, and there's that road right there. There you go.
Like a logging road?
That's what it looks like, and we don't wanna get nailed for tree growth violation.
We haven't authorized any trees being cut at all.
Did he cut any trees on your land?
They probably did, probably
There's
more than a
our
few.
house,
Yeah.
Fremont,
Oh,
and
yeah.
it goes out to 400 feet,
Oh, yeah.
and you can clearly see that open. But, you know, we walked by and we were looking for our pens, and we couldn't find it, so I contacted the surveyor, and he goes, yeah, that is definitely on your land.
Yeah.
I mean, that wouldn't be the ATV club that would have done that, is it?
Where's the road going?
I'm not sure, I can't.
Just goes in there and ends.
Yeah. So, I mean, there's Dodge Oil, or
It's
Lake
kinda hard
Region
unless you
Energy.
catch 'em.
There's that
doing it,
nice
you know.
house, the little property, here's
Yeah.
house.
Well, then I guess I have to just throw up no trespassing and your ATV trail's gone, you know, that's the only choices I have, right? Then they're violating, if they do trespass, they're violating.
Is it- so I
I
think
don't want to be a jerk, but
Sounds like,
Talk to Freddie Minor if you think
Like
it's
that.
the ATV.
So there's
Freddie Mine,
Lake Region Energy,
His father.
there's that house,
Okay.
and then
Yeah.
So it's right there.
yeah.
we had signed
Because
something a
we
year ago,
have
saying
400
90 days
feet
notice.
of frontage right there on 113.
How to figure
Sounds
it
like
out?
They
that.
open you out with a new driveway.
Yeah,
sounds
but,
like it's that ATV trail.
Well, it might be, because there's one that comes out right there.
Right.
Yeah.
And then they watch, go over and onto the, railroad right away on the other side.
so we
They go-
should post, well, we have to give them 90-day notice, and then post it,
Yeah,
and tell them can't use that anymore.
yeah. Yeah, sure.
But I've seen ATVs come across there all the time, yeah.
Yeah. but-
Oh, we hear them all the time.
Right. But, you know, I don't mind it, but if they start cutting trees,
Yeah.
dude,
That's in tree
That's my
growth,
money.
and I know tree growth laws, and I don't wanna get nailed for tree growth violation.
Right, yeah, yeah.
And of course, you heard us the other day, we were in here about our neighbor, we do have some pictures, he has 5 vehicles in the woods next
When
door.
I drove by that day, I slowed down, yeah, you can see 'em.
yeah, that's the ones in the woods,
Yeah.
not the ones in his driveway.
Oh, the ones in the driveway, are they registered at all?
I would
That I don't-
imagine most of them aren't, but
Yeah, I mean,
there's 5 in the woods.
yeah,
And you've got them jammed way back in there, there's pieces missing, and it's like, dude, you're dripping oil in the ground,
right, yeah,
okay? I just put a $20,000 well in. I really don't wanna have to do that again.
right, no, I don't blame you. Yeah, as soon as we get our CEO up to speed, and we'll send him over, and
Okay, so we do have one now?
we just signed the papers for him tonight, the appointment papers for tonight, and he'll be sworn in tomorrow, yeah. Yeah.
Do we have a name that we can share?
Mike Lee, from 10-9,
Okay,
you probably know him.
yes, I do.
Yeah.
Yeah, very good, thank you. Okay.
Good.
So, but that's all you would recommend is that we contact the ATV club?
Yeah.
I would assume probably they just assume that it's always been a trail, they can just go in and widen it.
Yeah.
With disregard for, obviously, the landowner, but,
It has changed,
Yeah.
because I was going by one day and I was like, I don't remember that being
Yeah.
there, or being that
Yeah.
open. And before parties start occurring back there.
Right, yeah.
Yeah.
Get that littering and, yeah.
Yeah, or
Is there an ATV?
an encampment shows up.
No, it's
So,
sort of
your
standard.
dad's kind of, because he's in charge of the snowmobile club, he kind of takes on liaison with the ATVs or what?
Not necessarily when it comes to like trails like that, I mean, you know, they keep up on the bridges and, you know,
I think if you look it up on the state trail, it's listed as a state trail.
okay.
From the what goes up to, follows the track up to the whistle stop and cuts over, goes over to Woods Mill Road, and then I think it goes from there up through Sebago.
Cause it does
Oh.
run on 107 too.
Yeah.
They do go down one.
I'll call my father when I leave here, and if I hear any news, I'll text you one way or the other when we
Oh,
know.
please
things.
do,
Okay.
yes, because I do remember they did contact us a year or a year and a half ago, and we signed a document saying, yes, as long as you respect the land and all that, we don't
Oh,
mind
yeah.
that,
Yeah.
that you use it. But then this showed up.
Yeah, these guys with side-by-sides have no regards to, I mean, my father's actually thinking about shutting a lot of trails down out back because they just ruin it, you know?
And
Yeah.
even if it's.
When it comes snowmobiling, you know, it's all rutted up and, you know, it's like, they just go in and destroy it, you know?
Even if we put no trespassing signs up, I know from working for a town that signs come down.
Yeah, right.
But once we post it,
Yeah.
my understanding, once it's posted, and even if they tear them down,
Yeah, what I do is I get a $50 game cam, you know, so it's an ongoing thing, and it's the only way you can police it without somebody visually being there.
Okay.
And there is the, all the Saco River Riders,
Are they out of Standish?
yeah,
That's the group.
Sebago Lake, Standish, Sebago, Standish, but then their website says they cover Buxton, Standish, Gorham, and Baldwin.
I think they meet on Tuesday night too, if I remember.
Find something like that, because you've seen them all, the local stuff on the weekend, all the trailers, and
Yeah.
there's a big group that comes in, where they go, I don't know.
Once they get their walking path in there, they won't be able to do that.
Okay.
I'll try to find out if he knows anything more than what we've discussed tonight, so.
Be much appreciated. Okay.
Any else?
Really tiny.
No, just our getting our neighbor to maybe clean up a little bit, and thanks for the info on this. I look forward to your text.
And then,
Other than that, I'm out of town business now.
I mean, from a 911 perspective, it's clear, but not from like MapQuest or Google.
It shows my house like 10 feet. For a couple miles, you know.
Anything, Robin?
Well, Google has two different Lombard roads. Like we're showing actually Cobb Lane going into where Mary's house is Lombard Road, and then Lombard Road going over Chestnut Hill, plus another Lombard Road where 911 has it. So that's Google.
Yeah,
But, so that's why, you know, if you put in MapQuest or,
yeah.
something like that, I can see where that would be a problem, so I don't know. I don't know where they're getting their information, if they're pulling it from the 911 database, the old Lombard Road doesn't exist anymore, it's Chestnut Hill, but, I don't know.
No, it wasn't, it's never.
I know it wasn't, but it is now. Yeah.
Well, it's ridiculous, but I don't care, I don't give a hoot. You know, I don't care, I just, other than, you know, I wasn't really upset or anything, but it was just, it's a little disturbing. I mean, you're just like, you're out doing gardening, you know, all of a sudden a cop comes riding up into your yard,
Yeah.
the Lombard Road, it's like, I'm trying to tell him, you know, he says, they say this is the Lombard Road.
Well, Mary, if somebody called because you were having a medical emergency, you'd want them to show up at your house.
I would.
And I would too, I
But,
want them to
but
show
they're
up
gonna
there.
say Cobb Lane, 18 Cobb Lane, and they're gonna come. But this is vague. All I'm trying to say to you is, this is vague. And it's, you know, if they really want to be on the spot, right there, technically, they should be doing something, it's not the Lombard Road, I'm sorry, it's just not.
So, who uses the 911 dispatching system?
Excuse me,
Who uses the 911 dispatch system?
supposed to be all EMS. Well, the post office, so it's twofold, but through the PUC.
So
So,
whoever this officer was should have had access to the dispatch system.
yeah,
We're getting-
I don't know what he had, I mean, he was very nice, he was very polite, but he didn't believe me.
Yeah, well,
He didn't believe me.
you're probably gonna have that problem all kinds of places. Using MapQuest or
Yeah.
Apple Maps
Yeah.
or something like
Yeah.
that.
Very nice
Yeah.
guy, I mean, really, nothing negative to say about him. But it's just I finally said to him, I'm trying to tell you, you're not, this is the Lombard Road, but you need to go. I tried to finally believe me, I think. And I haven't got him back again, so he must have found the place, I don't know.
Robin, you got any? Anything else?
yep, just, you've got that application for the San Juan Beach attendant, so
Yeah.
you'll speak with the beach folks about that, or we're gonna holler in for a interview, or,
I'll bring her in for an interview.
okay, when would be good for all of you?
Any afternoon, whatever.
Yeah, in the afternoon, really, you know.
Four-ish?
Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then, I sent you out an email on 6/4, main controls must come out and do HVAC maintenance, which I thought was comical, because we don't have AC, but it's for our heating units, so I don't think, where it's just maintenance, that any one of you necessarily need to be here for that. And the fuel bid ad I sent over.
Yeah.
Because, CM Brown expires on June 30th, so that will give us a couple of weeks to have folks bid, and then we can look at it probably, on the 28th, or the 21st, I guess it'll be the 21st. Yep, so it gives time for people to get bids in anyway.
Okay, yep. Anything else?
Yep, the only thing is, I know we've talked about it, but, old cemetery plots. In terms of, the old West Baldwin Cemetery, or we had one come up for North Baldwin, people are deceased, there's unknown deeds, and then kind of next generation or two generations removed, asked about using the plot,
Mm-hmm.
and I just didn't know specifically what the rules are. I mean, I'm referring them to you,
Yeah.
but in this case today, it's like, I know Gary Whitney needs to, do some probing and stuff, but what happens if other family members come forward and say, who gave them permission to actually use the plot? That's what I'm concerned
Oh,
about happening.
I see what you mean, yeah. So it's an empty plot, right?
Well, there's no stone there, so we can assume that it's empty, but until you start poking,
Yeah.
Maybe a stone was ordered and it never came,
Right.
or, anything could happen.
Yeah.
And we really have no way of knowing, I think, even with the new cemetery, of keeping track of people, because they'll do, if they go through the proper channels, they'll call,
Right.
Gary would be lined up,
Yeah.
and then he arranges things.
Yeah.
But we have no way of knowing whether or not people are doing their own, with the cremation, their own burial.
Burial,
But that's within the family, I guess. What I'm more concerned about is like a few generations removed. You know, it's like a great-great-grandfather situation, and, there may be cousins, there may be aunts and uncles around, and, you know, I trust that this person is telling me the truth. I'm not, you know, I'm not believing the
Right,
person,
yeah.
of course, but without things in writing, you know, if there's a family dispute, then the cousin might come forward and say, you know, the town didn't give you, you know, you didn't have any right to take that
Do we have
spot.
a written rule about who can be buried in Baldwin cemeteries?
What I'm told is that the rules really, when I've been speaking with Debbie, the rules apply to the new cemetery.
Okay.
right,
That the
yeah,
old cemeteries are essentially filled,
yeah,
and, it kind of,
Yeah.
there isn't any set guidance for that.
Well,
But I do refer to that when people ask me in terms of like, you know, care of the lot or, measurements of stones and different things. But I just don't know what to do about
I
it.
think there's a state law, and I have to research it again, that says the descendants of the person who owns the lot can be buried there.
Mhm.
It doesn't say who. And it doesn't say who determines, once the person who bought it dies, who determines comes next, so. I think it's a first come, first served.
I can interject a little bit, because when my mother was related to, well, my mother and my uncle Rudolph and my grandmother were related to, this doctor, in Kennebunkport, and that's where she wanted to be buried. And we had to contact the cemetery association, it was Evergreen Cemetery, and there were loops, there were like hoop sheds to jump through, you know, in order to get in there. You weren't just allowed to just do it, you know, and I had to really jump through hoops to get a stone for her, because they did not want one on there. They had a rule that, you know, it was, I guess it's a relatively new rule, you could only have like one stone on a cemetery plot, and
yeah, that's individual cemeteries, can set
Yeah.
their own rules.
yeah, well,
Like
I mean, I'm just bringing it up because
Yeah.
it might be something to contact to find out what they did. They had an association, it was like, it was funded by the town, it wasn't independent or anything like that. But there were rules that you had to do, you had to
Yeah.
go and appeal if they disapproved what you wanted to do, you had to go and appeal it, I had to go like 3 times. And I said, you know, I pleaded to do it, to have the stone put on it, because my mother taught school there, and they finally let me do it.
Well, I know that the cemetery deeds can be deeded through will, you know,
Yeah.
and that's happened in my family. where
I
they
don't know
said-
how she got
Yeah.
into that cemetery, I really don't know, I don't know.
Or Calvary Cemetery in Portland, you know, a family plot was passed on through will, because they had the deed and that way, so, it was done formally through the estate, but I haven't come across that here, and it's like nobody knows really who the deed is, and, I mean, and, you know, I trust people, but I just don't want there to be a situation where another family member steps forward and says, well, the town gave you permission to do that, and who says that's the right thing, but if the law is generic, then I guess it's first come, first served.
So, I'll look it up again. I mean, unless we have something here as a rule.
Because what she wants to do, she wants to put a stone on it, so it's marked, and so that when her time comes, or a family member, you know, a child of hers goes, then it's all ready to go, she wanted to be prepared.
I know it's up in the Veteran Cemetery in Guston, my wife can be buried up there, but she has to be buried on top of her parents.
Mhm.
And the stone has to be in the ground, so there's no mold. And she has to be cremated. So, yeah, everyone is different.
Yeah,
she has 2 plots in South Portland that was handed down to her, you know? We got all kinds of cemetery plots.
Yeah.
You're buried anyway.
But like, long term, but anyway, I don't know if I could get buried there next to my mother. I think there's room there, and I would be cremated, so I don't see, my grandmother died first, so my mother and my Uncle Rudolph apparently did whatever it took to get my grandmother in there, so then when my Uncle Rudolph died, it was automatic, we just put him in there, and then my mother died, and I didn't have to do anything. I mean, it was already there, ready to go. So I don't know, but I do know I had to fight to get a stone.
Oh.
I had to, they wouldn't let me do it.
Well, both of the cemetery plots are very, reasonably priced, for the new cemetery. And in this case, the old cemeteries, there's no price at all.
Right, yeah.
I was told with these particular lots at Calvary, they're $7,200 apiece.
Oh.
So I don't know if that's the truth or not, but.
Well, cheap house.
So I don't know if, so I guess depending upon where you go, if that's the truth, then it can get expensive.
I was surprised when I went around with your dad putting flags out, how few cemeteries, I don't think we saw any, stones with a date after about 1982 or 3.
Yeah. Yeah.
Except in my family cemetery.
Right, and that was too,
Yeah. But most of the old cemeteries, a lot of room.
Right, yeah. So I'm sure that the landowner themselves could be buried in, present day, it's like more fun. There's 2 of them, I think there's 2 of them, Jack Murphy's land. And there are 2, yeah.
Kathy brought them one on her property.
Yeah.
It's just a shame to let it go to waste.
Right.
Except, are they gonna be taken care of? So that's some people that would be a concern.
Right, yeah. Yeah.
When you look at the Flint Cemetery up on, Brown Road, again, Jack Murphy's place there.
Yeah.
There's nobody in that family line living around. I don't think any of them survive even anymore.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
And, there's plenty of room there.
Yeah. Well, my cousin and my aunt and my uncle are buried in their front yard in Sedago. So there's really no state rules saying you can't be buried somewhere. You just have to register through the town.
Well, where was Henry Blackstone's buried? I heard she was thrown out in the field there. There is a cemetery out there, though. I mean, I don't know if she got buried there, but they claim she just had her ashes thrown. And over on Bake Mountain Road, Tilton Andrews owns this beautiful place there, and these people used to rent the cottage across the street all the time.
Yeah.
And when one of them died, that's what they wanted. They wanted to have their ashes spread all over the field.
Yeah, that's anybody can do that. Yeah. Sure.
I don't care. I don't care. I mean, what do they want to do?
Break sandwich with genealogy, but.
Well, that's what I was thinking too. If anybody ever wants to find where I was buried, they might want to, but I doubt it.
There's people that cremated who wanted their ashes to be spread at one of the rides on the Disney World.
Well,
they keep an eye on that, yeah.
What was that dirt we had?
Cut the ride down through the office.
I always, my mother-in-law,
Yeah.
My mother-in-law, when she died, she wanted to be cremated. She's buried up in Lee May, the original from LA. And, she just wanted us to dig a little hole and put it in there, and I'm thinking, oh my God, what if somebody just comes and takes the topsoil off?
Yeah.
She's gone to the top, or whatever.
I say, my mom was scared of the dark, and she just wanted her ashes spread over my grandmother and grandfather's.
Right.
Yeah.
Everybody's different.
You guys involved?
Yeah, I think we still need to find a SRCC, Saco River Corps Commission rep.
Oh,
Because Lori Downey is,
yeah.
she's been.
Yeah, she's right there.
Oh, yeah.
Hi, sorry, I don't usually have the ability to come here on a Tuesday, which is why you haven't seen me here before, but I'm, Sherry Dunning, I'm the executive director over at Saco River Corridor Commission. I was formerly a commissioner. And Lori has just, stepped off the commission after lots of long, wonderful service. So yeah, we are, currently looking for a rep from Baldwin, that could serve on the commission, up to 2, really. And, yeah, if you have any ideas, I could certainly help by following up with them, explaining what commission work is all about, inviting them on more formally. But really the decision of, who to approve is up to you folks.
Yeah, Lori had a couple of names that she was suggesting, but then I think she talked to them and said, no, not right now. So
It
we've
is
gotta
a
find
time
somebody on
commitment.
our own,
You
yeah.
wanna advertise it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had thought of putting out a generalized ad ourselves, because there are multiple towns that need, new commissioners.
Yeah,
And so we may do that regardless, but yeah, if you wanted to put out an ad just for Baldwin,
yeah,
that's, certainly one way of going about it. You could also work up a notice that could be posted here, or, you know,
Yeah.
whatever other outreach strategies you think might work.
okay.
Do you, I guess I could find your email address on the website.
Find it right on my card. Mind if I walk through?
Sure, go ahead.
Please feel free to reach out to me about any commission matters, whether it's about the new commissioner or not.
Thank you, Cheryl.
Yeah.
We're generally staffing that office between 9 and 5 on Monday through Thursday, and I'm often there on Fridays too. My phone number on that card will get me anytime, so
Okay, great,
trying to be as available as possible.
thanks.
And,
I'll try to get somebody.
yeah, that's, certainly I felt bad when I was offered the executive director role that I'd be taking away a good Baldwin commissioner. And Lori had signed me up basically trying to be her replacement, and so unfortunately now we're down, 2 commissioners, but we'll get back there, we'll find somebody.
So you can use 2 from Baldwin then?
Yes, up to 2 from any municipality of the 20 along the corridor.
Okay.
Mhm.
All right, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Yeah, and I did want to say thank you very much, to the town for putting us on the town warrant, and, I'm glad I was able to just barely catch that item in between other things, when we went through it all. But yeah, much appreciated support. Our water quality monitoring program continues to get more expensive year by year.
Oh, yeah, I can imagine, yeah.
Costs are rising incredibly steeply right now. Over this next winter, I'm gonna have to do an analysis and just see how much is each one of these sites costing us.
Yeah,
And I bet across the board with all 20 municipalities, my ask is gonna have to go up next year.
Yeah.
But that's the way of things right now, unfortunately.
they test, first test, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
yeah, when we bring the tests in. Luckily, we're able to do all of the E. coli testing in-house, thanks to
Oh.
some equipment upgrades
Oh,
the past
really?
few years.
Yeah.
So things like San Pond, we're able to just do that in-house and get the answers without having to run it to UNH.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
that's good.
So yeah, the more complicated tests, for the river water, it's very, very costly now.
Oh, yeah.
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 Anyway, if you have any other questions, I'm happy to answer, but otherwise I will leave you to the rest of your meeting.
Okay, I'm all set. Yeah.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you all.
Thank you.
Keep up the good work. Thank you. Thank you.
Anything else?
Yeah, I don't know, Robin, you might have it on your particulars list, but we've got to do their winter road closure hearing too. I think it's between mid-May and the 1st of September.
Sure, already, we just got over with.
Well, the problem is if you don't do it, then it sneaks up on you.
Yeah,
If
sure.
you miss the deadline, you can't close it.
Right. Right.
That's it.
You got anything?
Please remember when you appoint people to favor people under 60 who were brought up in Baldwin.
Well, you said went to soccer, so you.
Went to soccer,
Went to soccer,
yeah.
yeah.
But please,
Yeah,
it's been going on all over Maine, especially along the coast. But it's come out to us.
yeah. People don't have roots here to don't seem to,
I wasn't brought up here, but yes, you're right.
Yeah.
I can't just call up the real estate agent and be gone to the end of the month.
right, right,
You know,
yeah,
I mean, that's the kind of person you don't want to appoint.
yeah, right. Here today,
That's what I'm.
here today, gone tomorrow. Right. All right? Guess that's it. We adjourn this meeting.
Thank you.
Guys.
Thank you.